Double angle and half angle identities. Locate the formulas on your pink cheat sheet. Suppose you are asked to find sine 2 theta, cosine 2 theta, and tangent 2 theta. And the only thing that you know is that sine of theta equals 1 over 4. And theta is between 0 and 90. Well, 0 and 90 is the first quadrant. So let's sketch that out and see what it looks like. So theta is here, and it forms a right triangle. You know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So sine of theta is opposite, which is 1, over hypotenuse, which is 4. To find the missing side, we use x squared plus y squared equals r squared. R is your hypotenuse. It's much like the Pythagorean theorem. So the x value is what we're looking for. The y value is 1. And your r value, which is your hypotenuse, is 4. Solve for x. Subtract 1 from both sides. So you get x equals radical 15 once you take the square root of both sides. So the missing side is radical 15. So again, sine was given. Sine of theta is 1 over 4. Cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's radical 15 over 4. And tangent of theta, opposite over adjacent. It's just 1 over radical 15. Of course, we can't have a radical in the denominator, so we must rationalize. So tangent of theta is radical 15 over 15. Now, to find sine 2 theta, you simply go to your cheat sheet, and the formula for sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cosine theta. So we have 2 sine theta was given 1 over 4. Cosine theta is radical 15 over 4. We multiply our numerators. 2 times 1 times radical 15 is 2 radical 15. 4 times 4 is 16. Reduce. Therefore, sine 2 theta is radical 15 over 8. Now, we find cosine 2 theta. Cosine 2 theta. There's more than one formula on your cheat sheet. It doesn't matter which formula you use. So let's use the first one. Cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. So we found that the cosine was radical 15 over 4. And it is squared. The sine is 1 over 4 squared. Radical 15 squared is radical 15 times radical 15, which is 15. 4 squared is 16. 1 squared is 1. 4 squared is 16. So 15 over 16 minus 1 over 16 is 14 over 16. So that gives us cosine 2 theta equals 7 over 8. Now, tangent of 2 theta. Formula: 2 tangent theta divided by 1 minus tangent squared theta. Tangent is radical 15 over 15. So we want to plug in radical 15 over 15 divided by 1 minus tangent squared. So radical 15 over 15 squared. Okay. 2 times radical 15 over 15 is 2 radical 15 over 15 divided by, in my denominator, I have 1 minus radical 15 over 15 squared. Order of operations says I must do my exponent first. So I have 1 minus radical 15 squared is 15. And 15 squared is 225. So 2 radical 15 over 15 divided by 1 minus 15 over 225. You can enter that into your calculator. And we have 14 over 15. Now we're dividing fractions. So you change it to multiplication and take the reciprocal. The 15's cancel. 2 goes into 14 7 times. Therefore, tangent of 2 theta equals radical 15 over 7. So we have tangent, we found cosine, and sine of 2 theta. Now moving on to number 2, find the exact values of the half angles. So sine theta over 2, cosine theta over 2, and tangent theta over 2. And the only thing that we know is that cosine equals negative 3 over 5. And from 180 degrees to 270, that is quadrant 3. So we want to make note of that. That is quadrant 3. So again, let's sketch that out and take a look at it. So we have an angle theta, and we were given cosine. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we want to find the missing side using x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Our x value is negative 3. We're going to find our y value, and our r value, which is the hypotenuse, is 5. Solve for y. Subtract 9 from both sides of your equation. So we have the square root of both sides. And instead of putting plus or minus 4, this will be a negative 4, because this y value in quadrant 3, your y values in quadrant 3 are negative. So negative 4. There. All right. Next, we're going to find the sine of theta. Sine theta, opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine theta was given, which was negative 3 over 5. So that makes tangent theta, opposite over adjacent, negative 4 over negative 3, which simplifies to positive 4 over 3. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Now we are ready to find sine of theta over 2. So get the formula from your cheat sheet. Sine of theta over 2 equals, and notice in front of the radical you have plus or minus. Well, we are in quadrant 3 and we are finding sine. Quadrant 3, sine is negative, so take that negative sign. So it's negative radical 1 minus cosine theta over 2. Plug in the cosine value, which was negative 3 over 5 divided by 2. So everything that's under the radical, you can enter into your calculator. Make sure you put a parenthesis around this numerator so that the calculator will understand that all of this is in your numerator, and the fraction will need its own parentheses also. So if you enter parentheses 1 minus parentheses negative 3 divide 5 close parentheses divide 2, you should end up with 4 over 5. Don't forget to change your decimal back to a fraction. So the square root of 4 is 2. You cannot break down the square root of 5. But this is not your final answer because you can't have a radical in your denominator. You must rationalize. So sine of theta over 2 equals negative 2 radical 5 over 5. Next, we're going to find the cosine of theta over 2. Again, the formula starts with a plus or minus in front of that radical. Quadrant 3, cosine is negative. So it's negative radical 1 plus cosine theta divided by 2. Cosine, wake up. Cosine was negative 3 over 5. So we want to plug that in. 1 plus negative 3 over 5 divided by 2. Again, everything under the radical you can enter into your calculator. Make sure you can do that correctly, and you will end up with 1 over 5. The square root of 1 is 1. You cannot break down radical 5, but that is not the answer because you must rationalize your denominator. So the cosine of theta over 2 is negative, understood 1, radical 5 over 5. Next, we will find tangent of theta over 2. In front of your radical, you have plus or minus. So we are in quadrant 3. Tangent is positive in quadrant 3. So this radical will be positive. And the formula is 1 minus cosine theta over 1 plus cosine theta. So we're going to plug in. So we have 1 minus negative 3 over 5 over 1 plus negative 3 over 5. Try to enter all of this in your calculator. Make sure you put a parentheses around your numerator and one around your denominator. And change the decimal to a fraction when you get your decimal. And you should end up with 4. No decimal there. And the square root of 4 is 2. So tangent of theta over 2 equals 2.